Coming into the league, Caitlin Clark wasn't just out to prove herself in the WNBA. The hype was there, but NBA players don't respect just hypes, at least until Caitlin showed them that she's more than hypes. She is the one. Join me as I walk you through the day Caitlin Clark showed the entire NBA she's the one. The NBA was already paying attention. There's hype, and then there's what NBA players respect. Long before Caitlin Clark got drafted, the NBA already knew she was special. Even after she got drafted, many legends, veterans and stars were talking about her, from tweets to interviews and courtside appearances. NBA stars and legends raved about her, from the attention she brought to women's basketball to her talent compared to her peers. I mean, it has to take something for Shaquille O'Neal to just crown Caitlin the best female collegiate player ever. Well, in Magic Johnson's case, Caitlin is the second greatest basketball career after WNBA legend Diana Taurasi's legendary college career. And this is the only reason Caitlin isn't first, and that's because Diana Taurasi won 3 national championships at a star-studded UConn. Caitlin's performance in college had the Lakers Hall of Famer tweeting that she might be better than him, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. Speaking of NBA stars that brought into the Caitlin Clark hype, 2-time NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant was ahead of the curve, since he saw her as a 17-year-old star on the AA youth circuit. While she was still in college, the likes of LeBron, Charles Barkley and Steph Curry all called her special and admired her range. None of them could deny the influence and attention she brought to women's basketball. But was Caitlin the one the WNBA needed? Was Caitlin Clark the one? I mean, long before her, several young talents have had the world's attention. NBA players know it firsthand, as many of their peers were big in college but never made it as a pro. Was Caitlin just like them? Well, not many in the NBA said it out loud, but they thought it, until Caitlin did in front of all of them and changed their minds. July 14th, 2024. It's one thing to praise Caitlin Clark from afar, but seeing her go off as a pro in front of NBA royalty is a different level. Just as many expected, Caitlin struggled in her first few professional games, winning only one of her first 9 games while averaging 17.9 points on 37.7% shooting and committing 5.7 turnovers per game. But was she a bust? Just some hyped up player? Well, 22 games into her professional career, she became the first WNBA rookie and the first Fever player ever to record a triple-double. But does a triple-double make NBA legends and stars recognise her as the one? After all, she was already on their radar. Well, the one game that made the difference, the one game that turned respect into reverence, and that was on July 14th, 2024, the 3rd game after her first career triple-double. Lights, cameras, Clark. If there's one thing NBA players past and present recognise and respect, it is definitely a player who shines when the lights are brightest. And on the 14th of July 2024, the lights were bright. On this day, the rookie was on a mission. Going into that game, the Fever were on a 10-14 losing record, facing the Minnesota Lynx with a 16-7 winning record. All eyes were on Caitlin. Caitlin had to turn around the Indiana Fever's losing season, and starting the game, she had a turnover.
Boston and Uhas with the tip, and here's Caitlin. And right away, the cheers erupt.
She quickly made up for it by making the Fever's second bucket of the night.
Own right, the only person shooting better from the 3 by percentage than her teammate Kayla McBride.
Clark takes it.
Unfortunately, her next point's involvement didn't happen until the first quarter was almost over.
Lassini, some good length on the perimeter on Kayla. That is a tough pass!
Wow.
And somehow...
For the first 3 quarters, Caitlin was terrible. She was getting her passes intercepted.
Side of the floor, Carlton's just been a little strong on a layup.
And missing her layups.
These are teaming steals. Caitlin, nope.
In the first 3 quarters, Caitlin had just 7 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists and 6 turnovers. She was bad out there, and entering into the 4th quarter, the Fever were down by 7. And now that the lights were brightest, Caitlin Clark didn't just show up, she dominated.
with plantar fasciitis, but her team is beating Indiana, and that's...
You can tell it was demon time because she was out there turning defense into offense.
This game has been much more closer. What a play by Caitlin Clark.
This rookie had veterans on their knees, and it was nasty.
Clark.
In the last 10 minutes of the game, Caitlin was clutch. She was what the Fever needed, and she showed up despite a terrible first 3 quarters. In just the fourth quarter, Caitlin had 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 0 turnovers. She either scored or assisted on more points than the entire Lynx had as a team. Everyone knew she could get buckets, but clutch? Well, Caitlin's play in that fourth quarter cemented her place among many as the one. She had the hype and range, but being clutch as a professional, stepping up when it matters, directing a team's offense with assurance and accuracy to lead a comeback, that's something not even NBA players can deny, even for a rookie. That game sure earned Caitlin Clark the respect of not just her opponents and teammates, but also NBA players. The NBA reaction. Seeing a rookie being that clutch really made NBA players and legends come out to praise Caitlin Clark. The Lynx game was the day NBA players stopped looking at Caitlin like a women's hoop star and started viewing her as a hooper. Even Draymond Green gave her props, and that dude never gives anyone props. Chicago Bulls guard Kobe White, who had only seen her on TV, was very impressed after watching her live. According to the guard, Caitlin's ability to control the game, get her team involved, manipulate pick and rolls, and score is out of this world.
Honestly, she remind me a lot of the way that she controls the game and play makes and gets everybody involved, but also, the step backs in her shot.
Blazers guard Damian Lillard praised Caitlin's ability to drain those shots from anywhere, off the bounce while being guarded heavily and in big moments. Steph Curry immediately called her special. You could just tell that she just forced NBA guys to do something they rarely do when it comes to women's sports: respect. Real, genuine, face value respect. Watching Caitlin Clark that clutch and the mental toughness to brush off a terrible first 3 quarters to dominate the fourth quarter proved that her elite skill, basketball IQ and ice-cold confidence transcends leagues. So much so that Hall of Famers Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce agreed that she could get 10 points in a highly physical NBA game, not just a WNBA game. This particular moment changed everything, and not just for Caitlin Clark, but for the next generation, because now girls growing up aren't just dreaming of playing in the WNBA, they're dreaming bigger. They can dream of being good enough to compete against the best of the best in the NBA. The bar was raised, and Caitlin Clark showed the entire NBA she's not just good for a woman. She's just plain great, and is now redefining everything we thought we knew about the game. For what it's worth, the NBA weren't the only one who came to that conclusion after the game. Even fans across the world did, and according to a user's comment, CC bouncing back in the fourth after a bad 3 quarters is insane, and still scores 17. Crucial assists, scores, and her IQ saved them from losing. Another user commented, "There have been a lot of amazing women athletes throughout the years, but Caitlin Clark just showed that she is the one." Well, if you have enjoyed this video, the next video on your screen is definitely worth your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya, bye!